So, Amar, hi again, and especially your address division. What the hell is going on? Hello and welcome to your weekly news dump. My name is Artem and I'm CEO of Akord Properties. And here we talk about this week's news in Dubai's real estate and life. Anything that piqued my interest really. So please like this video, follow us and press the bell icon and let's get into the news. So this week is intense. We adjusted things on lead generation and I worked on it, quite engaged for the last couple months, really refining our lead generation processes and advertising, and God, it worked. We're currently in a situation where we are struggling to process our leads. So if you send us a message and didn't receive any response swiftly, I do apologize, but there is a bit of a queue. Interest in Dubai's real estate is honestly stunning once you start exploring your demographics, and there's a whole number of people who never been offered it, and it's great to know they show an interest. It's good for me, obviously, but I also just genuinely enjoy the market growing and developing. It's great to be part of something like that. Otherwise, yeah, we've been to two developers this week. One is creating a big villa development next to Damak Lagoons. Another has a number of global properties, everywhere from Spain to Thailand, right? And honestly, their project in Oman is something out of this world, perched right on the cliffs above the Indian Ocean, and just stunning, just absolutely stunning. Feels a lot like Maldives, feels a lot like, well, Indian Ocean really. And prices there are surprisingly low. It's significantly under £500,000 price per 3-bedroom townhouse. Honestly, at this price, I am considering of purchasing it myself, as, come on, 4-hour drive from Dubai, you got your little country house in Amman. For me, that sounds like a good call. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wasting my money in the comment below. Otherwise, we're not putting out a lot of live streams lately, but I've been busy and I apologize. There's a lot of things to tell you about, but I'm trying to engage more of my team into that, and I try to engage more of my team into media production, right? And right now, I'm trying to prepare them and get them out there, get my team talking, because I don't believe I'm the smartest person on my team. I don't believe I know the best in every situation and scenario. So I would really benefit from my team members talking about real estate just as much as I do and bringing their own perspective, their own opinions. So we are working to do exactly that. Otherwise, I think that's it. Let's get into actual news. Dubai real estate developer Binghatti snaps up to $99 million plot in Business Bay. I know I talk a lot about Binghatti here, and not always in an extremely positive way, and I always very skeptical about their announcements and their projections. And rightly so, because we have yet not seen any luxury products delivered by them. But I do have to appreciate the tenacity, right? I do have to appreciate the dedication they have to making it happen, because, I mean, they're buying a plot after plot and they're starting new project after new project. I have no idea where they get the money, but apparently they do, and they build and they sell quite well. They sell not as well as the absolute industry leaders, but they sell fast. To correct myself is, on all my previous statements, I see that they are genuinely working towards it, or clearly putting their money where their mouths are, and that is highly appreciated. This is not always a given in any business, right? And Big props to them. It's not on canal, it's not prime location. Once again, it's just a plot, not a great plot. Getting any plot in Business Bay nowadays is pretty hard and very expensive. So let's wait and see what comes out of it. And it's an interesting development at least. This one we talked about a few weeks ago. We talked about the tower by London Gate, which they're creating with watch brand Franck Muller, and I went on a whole rant about both designer watch and building collaborations, and more importantly onto unconventional and weird, in the most loving way, weird designs of some Dubai skyscrapers. And this one will be one of those weird designs, and still absolutely love it, absolutely rooting for them to win. If you look at the new rendering, we know it's right next to Dubai Marina and right in front of the Dubai Harbor, or MR Beachfront, whichever you will wishing to call it. This location is outstanding. This is a prime location. This is absolutely perfect place to be. And this tower will be one of the tallest in the area, so view is going to be absolutely incredible out of pretty much every unit in the building. Prices start at under $500,000, and that's very reasonable. That's very good for the area. So I will be actually on the phone Monday first thing with London Gate, seeing what we can get from them information-wise to offer it to some of our clients, because I believe that's genuinely an interesting buy, and it's less obvious but much of an interesting choice. So we will see what's the developments in the future, but once again, I'm very much rooting for that tower to be completed and to be great. So only good news here, and handover is planned for 2027. I cannot project markets that far, but I would say whatever our expectations of markets in 27, this is a very good handover timing. This is when it makes sense to buy into this building and wait for handover and make money on a handover as an investment, or possibly fall in love with it and move in yourselves. I don't know. Either is great. On to the next news. Let's talk about restaurant openings in 2024. And I know this year is just starting. We're not even 2 weeks in, but we already have a list of biggest restaurant openings in 2024. I assume some of them are anticipated, some of them already happened. Article is actually dated January 10th, so we're a week and a half in, and we already know so much going on with the gastronomy scene in Dubai. And quite honestly, gastronomy scene here is probably the only thing growing faster than real estate. So let's have a look what we've got offered. Well, first off, 71 Steak and Grill, opening at Emirates Towers. Great to have great steakhouses. Hopefully it's not going to be only Wagyu, because my opinion, Wagyu meat is not made for steaks. It makes a terrible steak. You want a good steak, you get yourself a proper grass-fed cow, preferably growing in vicinity of Aberdeen. Everything else is mediocre at best. The other one is incredible. It's the restaurant called African Queen. Their main branch is in France, and I've been to their restaurant, and the food there is absolutely amazing. It's incredible combination of this French cuisine with African flair and African interpretation of mostly French cuisine and French ingredients, and it's a very interesting concept. Interiors feel extremely warm. The service is always outstanding, and I mean, food is just great, and it's something so new to most people. It's kind of familiar if you're familiar with French cuisine, but it's same but different, you know. And That's why it's getting high praise. It's innovative, but it's innovative in a simple way. It's not innovative in a way where it's hard to understand and hard to appreciate. So they're opening, I'm heading their way. Absolutely. Unveils by the sea is Lebanese Armenian restaurant. Lebanese know their food, Armenians know their food. Anything by the sea is good, should be great. On the Liman, no idea. Arazuna will be opened by Finnish celebrity chef Mehmet Gurs, but it's Turkish cuisine. It's his Turkish descent from Finland. Interesting to see. Another Turkish restaurant. Competition on Turkish cuisine in Dubai is pretty tough. We'll see how they do. But it seems like they bring in more refinement, more high cuisine into Turkish cuisine experience. So once again, hard to imagine, but we'll see what it is. Café Kitsune, once again, a French-Japanese concept. Once again, mixing French cuisine with other cuisines. It's a very popular trend. Great to see it popping up. I do love French cuisine. I do love Japanese cuisine. Should be fine. Cairo Steakhouse. No idea who they are. Will be located in Fairmont. Oh well. Duang by Bolan. Once again, down market from Michelin restaurant creators. Quite popular. So many of them. Not impressed. Gatsby Barcelona. Great to see some Spanish cuisine. Simple as that in W Dubai. And W Dubai really needs some attractions there because, quite honestly, they need to open more stuff in there. As it's a great hotel, but there's no reason to go there outside of staying there. Good on them of embracing the Spanish cuisines, and by the sea it only makes sense, especially great Spanish seafood. I know that paella is not Spanish, it's Basque, but hopefully also will be there and will be good, but we'll see. Good call. Jemavar, yeah, coming from Mayfair, something more familiar to me. Good call. Hopefully going to be good, but definitely going to be overpriced. La Dame de Pique by Anna Safé Pique is a Swiss-French dining kind of concept. Very high-end, very high quality. The product looks great. Another is Mimi Mayfair, also from Mayfair. Fine, half of Mayfair is moving here anyway, so who cares? And a bunch of other stuff. Pitfire Pizza. Actually, they delivered to us. We already tried it this year, and it's pretty good. Very, very, very good pizza. If you're anywhere around nearby Hills and ordering a takeaway, this is your go-to. Go and try Pitfire. Otherwise, not much interesting anymore. On to the next news. So second week in a row, we're mostly talking real estate. Would you imagine, right? So now we're talking about some other parts of Dubai less explored, like Hatta Beach. And I'm really keeping my eye on it because I believe Hatta Beach very soon will become one of the top investment destinations in UAE. I believe people coming into Hatta Beach right now will see incredible appreciation. So Hatta approved new projects in housing, in education, in many things. I don't believe Hatta offers, as of now, any freehold propositions, but I believe they will create some freehold development there. Most likely will be presented by Miras, most likely will be a selection of exclusive villas. This is my prediction. I believe they will launch it this year. Hatta is incredible, beautiful exclave of Dubai, and if you ever in UAE, if you ever staying over in Dubai, make your way to Hatta, enjoy the nature. Because UAE has so much more to offer than just a few skyscrapers. Local nature, mountains, lakes, rivers have so much to give in terms of entertainment, in terms of enjoyment. I actually make point to try and get out of Dubai every other week, at least, to enjoy local nature. And once again, people usually say, oh, it's a desert view, it's terrible. And yeah, I wouldn't like a view of desert out of my apartment when I'm working in the city. I would like view out of my window to correspond with what I'm working with. But deserts are beautiful. Honestly, incredible and beautiful. Rent a car, drive out towards Liva, go through this massive desert of Abu Dhabi. Enjoy the true incredible scales you can see in those deserts. And once again, Hatta will be a very hot destination once it gets announced. And I'm predicting it will very soon. And obviously, it's always a good issue, a good episode when I get to react to Rob Report articles and read Rob reports. Honestly, always loved it. Back when I worked with luxury yachts, we would get Rob Report delivered every month to our tables directly from the publisher, and it felt very special. Always loved their magazine. It feels special, really. And here they're talking about Dubai real estate, and they're talking about the biggest penthouse in Dubai's history, and it just listed for $164 million, right? Honestly, it's 77,000 square foot. So it's 3-floor penthouse, so triplex. It has its own mini golf course. So to give you an understanding of the scale, it's when you have so much space that you get a swimming pool, you get a basketball court, and you see you got a bunch of space left. So you think, oh, might as well put some mini golf. Kids will love it, right? But I do appreciate cigar lounge and cryogenic room. And I assume it's just the very, very top of amenities. I'm pretty sure I know who it listed with. I'll try to get more information for next week, but I doubt I'll get it, because if I come to them and say, like, let me see what you've got, they'll say you don't have a client for it, and I honestly don't. Unless some of you want to buy it, I mean, message me, we can make it happen. I'll definitely get you like a 5-10% discount. They say no discounts, but they're lying. We can get you 5 at least. It's one of the biggest private apartments, and it's based in a hotel called Raffles the Palm. And the Raffles the Palm is not my cup of tea. It's a bit of too old school, a little too classical. But I know for a fact our clients who are in their mid to late 50s absolutely adore this specific hotel for their service and for their styling and for the vibe there. So it's undoubtedly one of the best hotels in Dubai, one of the best places to be. And more importantly, recently they sold a whole bunch of their own villas located right next to Raffles, featuring the hotel level services and all of the goodies you would expect, right? And they flew off the shelves, right? So I don't think this penthouse will be on the market for too long. I think it will take it a month or two to sell, but it's definitely really cool. Like, I would love to have my own cryogenic room. On to the next news. So, Amar, hi again, and especially your address division. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, guys? I mean, okay, we put some downtown addresses onto Kempinski management, and it seems that the previous week's panic was a bit overblown, as I expected. It was just a few things blown out of proportion, more like snags along the way than real issues. But now we have them, for some reason, renaming the Fountain Views. So address Fountain Views, which everybody knows and appreciates, and it's probably the best address in downtown. Arguably, it's Skyviews, but Skyviews is a little out of the way, so it doesn't give you as much of connectivity. Is now will be renamed as Address Dubai Mall, because Address Dubai Mall becomes Kempinski Boulevard or whatever, right? Not sure what's the strategy here. I mean, it does explain really well that, yeah, it is directly connected by a walkway to Dubai Mall. And in the walkway, because walkway is incredible understatement for what is a massive floating bridge, enclosed and air conditioning, obviously, containing the Chinatown of Dubai Mall, which is my favorite part of Dubai Mall, I would be honest with you, because it has an incredible food court. But yeah, they're renaming it just to confuse the hell out of us. I wonder how confusing it will be for deliveries and other stuff for the next few months, but I guess they have a bigger plan. But yeah, Mar, stop moving things around. Don't do it all at once. Take it step by step, please. Ugh. I feel like this saga will be a weekly installment now. We'll see. On to the next news. So, once again, we're continuing the storylines from last episode quite a lot. So, finally, I learned the word continuity. So, this one we're talking about Dubai's Billionaire Island. Dubai's Billionaire Island is a region in Dubai with extremely expensive villas, and let's see what it is. Because this is where Ronaldo got his new villa, and once again, there's much more of the public spotlight on this area, as previously it was more of an out-of-the-way, quieter place, not discussed as much because it's so irrelevant to everyday buyer budget. Billionaire Island is the most expensive part of Jumeirah Bay Island. Jumeirah Bay Island is incredible development, impossible to get things there, but the villas were actually selling relatively slow because they went at end-user prices, not investor prices. It wasn't designed to appreciate in any way, shape, or form. It was for people who want it and can afford it, can have it, right? It's that simple. They wouldn't want to have any speculation, trading going on too much. They wanted it to be owned by the people who want to live in it, who want to use it for their own enjoyment, to create this high-end community. I mean, it's extremely exclusive. Yeah, it's exclusive in a number of terms. First of all, it's expensive. And second of all, even if you have money, not that many people are willing to sell. That's that simple. It's just gonna take you a while of hunting around and working with right brokers and knowing the right people to get a villa on Billionaire Island. It's a pretty cool development. Not to my taste because it's all branded and it's one of those artificial islands which I don't like to live on. But it is pretty cool for people who like that lifestyle. So villas there, they keep quoting dirhams 200 to 300 million dirhams. So I would say there's a few of them which would be more expensive, but they will not gonna pop up for sale more than once every couple of years. So yeah, it is a billionaire island. It's incredible, premium place. Also, there's the Bulgari Resort being constructed nearby, so that would be the only way where you can, on a cheap, be around billionaires. But when I'm speaking on a cheap, I'm still speaking about one of the most expensive hotels in Dubai. So yeah, now I see why you could possibly see Ronaldo and Beckham having an argument about somebody's dog being too loud in there. It's perfectly appropriate place for that. On to the next news. And let's finish this time not with lifestyle because we talked restaurants already and talked for too long. I just droned on it. I do apologize to my editors about it. Anyway, let's talk about investor rights in Dubai because this is a question which being raised a lot and it's a good opportunity for me to talk about that. So this is a latest summary and it's article I suggest you read if you're looking to invest into off-plan. So it talks about off-plan and what are your rights if things go wrong. Because if things go right, you don't care your rights, you care your income. But if things go wrong, that's where you start asking what your rights are, what avenues can you take to make it right. Yeah. it is important to do your due diligence. We do it for you, but honestly, not everybody watching this video going to be buying with us. Perfectly understandable. But number one, the question, you talk with lawyers, you ask them question of, what do I do if my property is delivered late, if it's not delivered on time? Their question back is, have you done your due diligence? Do you have the escrow account details? Do you have all the RARA registration papers, right? All of those documentations, all the details about the developer, the escrow, the actual company the developer opened for this development should be in hand and should be with you. You should save them and keep them somewhere secure and accessible where you will not lose it. It is very important, because one of the very reasonable ways for them to do the recourse is to fight you on asking, who you actually asking, right? We're not doing that. So you need to have a good track record and proof of the companies, of account numbers, so you know who you're dealing with in the legal field once such an action needs to be taken, right? One of the protections they list is a theoretical one, right? And your money are not with the developer once you paid it off. It's an escrow account, and your money are being released to the developer according to the stages of completion, and released by government decisions, right? So escrow account will keep the money in there, and if, let's say, developer is unable to complete construction, the whole contents of escrow account, the unbuilt property and the units will be retraded to a different developer who will be willing to complete it, given the money, given the resources available, right? So at the end of the day, you will be able to get it delivered in most cases at some point, right? So it's not completely lost, but honestly, if your developer goes bust, yeah, it's a couple years delay, guaranteed. And they say there is no full refund, but it is possible to get part of your property paid back. Once again, yeah, it's risky, but that's exactly why off-plan is cheaper and comes with all those nice incentives. And I always say off-plan is much higher risk than secondary properties in Dubai, and risk is at your own discretion. We can only advise you on available risks. We can only advise, in our opinion, where you should be given your approach to risks. But ultimately, it's always an investor's decision, right? And off-plan is finally this way. Things can go wrong. There is no bulletproof way to deliver it, but because your money is being used to build a thing, and if they halfway through building and they go bust due to sheer incompetence, first of all, should have not worked with incompetent developers, and we try to avoid those with you. And the other thing is, it will be completed eventually. You're not losing your rights. You're not losing your unit. It will be completed. It will be completed by a different developer. It's likely going to take a small hit in the quality of the development. But those are risks investors are willing to take by buying off-plan. Either way, your rights in Dubai are relatively well protected, as well as they could be in countries outside of Europe, and that's good to know. So please read this article carefully and see your rights, because there's a lot of detail to that which needs to be read verbatim. And if you're still confused, you can always reach out to us. We can give you full legal consultation as well for your property purchase. And that's it for news this week. And thank you for making it all the way through the video. That really helps us in the algorithm. I really appreciate it. And see you next week.